Hello, listener, and welcome. I am the Deep Voice Guy, and today I'll be reading to you part 4 of the Silence After Midnight series entitled The Flame Below. The flashbang exploded, white light flooding the room. David hit the floor, ears ringing, vision blurred. Shadows burst through the windows. Boots hit the ground. Voices shouted encoded commands. Lincoln grabbed David by the collar and dragged him toward the basement. Mira, coughing, shoved a shelf over the doorway to buy time. They tumbled down the steps, slamming the hidden hatch shut, just as footsteps pounded above. They waited in the darkness, breathing, shaking, then silence. "They knew we'd be here," Mira whispered. "No," Lincoln said grimly. "They wanted us to find the files. This was a warning." "What now?" David asked. Lincoln stood. "We go to the plant." David nodded. "We end this." It was almost midnight when they reached the abandoned chemical plant off Route 9. Rusted gates, overgrown fence, lights flickering from deep within, power still flowing to a facility that should have been dead years ago. Theo met them at the edge, armed with blueprints. "Tunnels run beneath it. Old waste disposal tunnels. One of them leads straight to the sublevel John was initiated in." "Then we go under," Lincoln said. "Quiet, fast." They slipped into the drainage tunnel, boots echoing through concrete halls. Toxic air hung thick. Faint traces of chemicals stung their eyes. Then, voices ahead, murmured, tense. They peeked around the corner. John stood at the center of a steel chamber, flanked by Rylan and two guards. His hands were cuffed behind his back. A crate sat open beside them. More canisters, labeled Agri 7X. Newer, refined, lethal. "You should have kept running," Ryland said, aiming a gun at John. "But you came back." "I didn't come back for you," John said through gritted teeth. "I came to end it." Behind them, Mira whispered, "He's trying to destroy the supply." David clenched his fists. "We help him." They burst into the room, 5 against 4. Lincoln tackled one guard. Mira swept the other's legs with a metal rod. David rushed Ryland, but the gang leader sidestepped him easily, slamming him into a pipe. John saw his chance. With the guards distracted, he slammed his boot against the crate, tipping it into the exposed generator. A spark, then another, then fire. "Run!" John yelled. They scattered as the chamber filled with smoke. Alarm screamed. A distant explosion shook the walls. Chemical vats burst, spraying toxic mist into the air. David dragged John toward the tunnel. Ryland rose through the smoke, pistol aimed at John's head, until Lincoln tackled him through a railing. The two of them crashed to the floor below. Shots rang out. David hesitated, eyes wide. "Lincoln!" "I'll find another way out," Lincoln shouted. "Just go!" They surfaced behind the plant, just as the first explosion lit up the sky. Sirens wailed in the distance. Fire bloomed from the facility like a flower of death. John collapsed on the ground, coughing violently. David dropped beside him. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I thought if I ran far enough, it would stop, but they followed me." "You lost your sister because of them." "I lost myself first." David nodded slowly. Now you take yourself back. Hours later, as the fire raged and emergency crews swarmed the site, Lincoln emerged from the woods, bloodied but alive. He nodded toward David. We're clear. They'll pin it on the plant's illegal operation. What about Rylan? Lincoln's eyes narrowed. Gone, but bleeding. Epilogue. 1 year later. John now lives in a quiet town up north, working in renewable energy, trying to undo the damage he helped cause. David and Mira co-run a nonprofit that exposes environmental corruption. Lincoln? He still walks with a limp, but never without purpose. They don't talk about the fire often, or the sister who should still be alive, or the drone buried beneath the woods that might still hold secrets. But sometimes, when the wind is just right, David swears he hears the faint hum of wings above the trees. Still watching, still warning, still waiting. The end. And thanks for listening.